Okay. Right. Okay. Without further ado, let's start module 9, which is Amazon AWS Cloud Architecture. So in this module, we will address the following topics: AWS well-architected framework, and the second one is the reliability and high availability, and the third one is AWS Trusted Advisor. So Amazon AWS ni orang yang first, ya, dia macam Cisco lah, macam ni. Orang yang first dan sekarang ni yang paling besar dalam design first cloud architecture. So that experience from the start sampai sekarang dia collect and dia buat architecture, dia bina his own architecture. Macam Cisco, dia ada command dia sendiri, everyone copy je pada situ, tukar sikit-sikit. Macam ni juga, macam cloud architecture ni pun macam for Amazon AWS, dia develop sendiri and dia refine from the start until now. So yang best Amazon AWS, pasal apa kenapa dia berkembang, sebab dia very innovative. And dia akan berubah dengan cepat bila ada demand, bila ada keperluan. Macam contohlah, macam dia start dulu sebagai Amazon ni, dia start dengan jual buku kan, jual buku. So and then after that dia doing well, jual buku. And then customer tanya pula, kenapa jual buku je, tak jual benda lain, jual certain. So dia ambil feedback and dia jual benda lain. So dia berkembang dari situ. Sekarang ni Amazon bukan setakat jual buku, jual macam-macam. And then untuk for that a lot of inventory and so on. So dia bina bukan setakat dia panggil apa, store untuk inventory, tapi dia juga build up IT infrastructure. From IT infrastructure ada demand pula, maksudnya lepas dia dah better doing the architecture, and then ada demand, kenapa sebab ada ruang untuk share dengan orang lain. So dia dapat feedback pada situ, dia pula buat cloud. Basically dia pada situ dia share the architecture, so everyone can use the storehouse, the service and so on. So from there lah yang start cloud ni. Bila ramai orang guna, ramai orang share, semakin murah lah that service. That's how Amazon AWS started. Okay. So dia ada aktiviti dalam ni, tapi kita skip, kita akan go fokus pada 5 pillars yang dia collect. So basically architecture is the art and science of designing and building large structures. So large systems require architects to manage their size and complexity. So arkitek ni, yang kita ada kata arkitek ni yang bina bangunan, tapi banyak benda yang perlu design sistem daripada awal dipanggil arkitek juga. So dalam kes ni kita panggil cloud arkitek lah. So cloud arkitek engage with decision makers to identify the business goal and the capabilities that need improvement. Dia akan cakap, dia cakap dengan owner lah. Owner, contohnya owner rumah ni, and owner atau business owner, apa dia punya goal nak buat this architecture. So dia kena align lah. So and then ensure alignment between technology deliverables of our solution and the business goal. So dia dah tahu business goals nak apa. Dia sebagai seorang yang pakar, dalam buat rumah, dalam kes ni dah buat rumah lah. Kalau dalam cloud, yang buat cloud, so dia akan suggest lah guna servis apa. Yang kita duk belajar servis tu sebab akhirnya untuk buat benda ni lah. So katakan dia nak cepat dan sebagainya, so dia guna apa kan. So that servis yang kita kena fikirkan lah. So work with delivery teams that are implementing the solution to ensure that the technology features are appropriate. So that architect dia akan work dengan ada yang pakar database, ada yang pakar uh, compute processing, ada yang pakar network. So dia akan work dengan orang semua ni untuk meet the demand of business owner. That's the job of architect. So sebenarnya architect duduk bidang paling tinggi, paling dalam bidang kita professionalism ni dia paling tinggi lah. So that is our target lah bila kita masuk dalam bidang ni. So the AWS Well Architect framework is a guide that is designed to help you build the most secure, high-performing, and then resilient and efficient infrastructure possible for your cloud applications and workloads. It provides a set of foundational questions and best practice that can help you evaluate and implement your cloud architectures. And AWS developed the Well Architect framework after reviewing thousands of customers' architectures on AWS. So kelebihan dia ada start pada awal, and dia berkembang, dia mempunyai 50% majority cloud service in the world dipegang oleh Amazon AWS, dan dia simplified or dia ambil the best practice from there. So the AWS Well Architected framework is organized into 5 pillars: operational excellence, kedua security, and then reliability, and the performance efficiency, and then the last one is cost optimization. So ada 5 pillars, antara banyak-banyak banyak-banyak customer dia dah buat dan sebagainya, so dia boleh rungkaikan kebanyakan dia mesti ada 5 pillars yang sebagai arkitek kita akan tengok lah. Okay. And each pillar includes a set of design principles and best practice area, and a set of foundational question is under each best practice area. Some context and a list of best practice are provided for each question. So macam mana dia bina benda ni? So melalui pengalaman dia tadi, so dalam IT ni basically benda yang sama. Apa yang kita belajar dekat Unimap dan semua satu dunia basically berguna benda yang sama kan. Guna benda yang sama. So and so kalau satu sertifikat yang paling power lah, sebab antara power certificate ialah dia panggil basically dalam tu kita belajar best practice of IT management. So kamu ni bila jadi expert, kamu boleh jadi expert dalam bidang cloud, bidang network, bidang database dan sebagainya. Kamu akan sampai ni, tapi at last kamu akan jadi manager. So manager tu dia manage by using best practice lah. Waktu tu kamu boleh pergi ke mana-mana satu dunia boleh demand. Okay. Okay, as you go through the rest of this module section, you will be prompt to review the architecture of so dia ada bagi satu untuk practice satu company example, tapi tak perlulah kita skip yang tu, kita akan go through dia punya prinsip dia. Jadi dia punya company details kita tak boleh tengok lah. Yang ni kamu boleh tengok sendiri. Sebab dia ada aktiviti tu. So the first principle is operational excellence pillar. So kita nak make sure operation excellent lah. So that's the concept. So the operational excellence pillar focus on the ability to run and monitor systems to deliver business value and to continually improve supporting process and procedures Key topics includes automating changes, responding to events, and defining standard to manage daily operation. So basically, operation daily lah. Maksudnya kita nak design operation tu meet the target, meet the business target every day or in a month or in a year. And then key topik dia ialah macam mana kita nak buat benda yang redundant menjadi automatic. Kita tak nak banyak sangat manual kan. Automatic, kita nak manual, automatic. So and then kita dah kumpul selected event apa bila jadi something kita nak react tu macam mana kita nak react. And then kita standards to manage daily operation. So kita ada bagi standard untuk sehari kita nak target apa kan. So itu standard lah. So bila tak achieve, which is bad lah. Kalau lebih achieve, maksudnya better. Macam nak define. Okay. And then there are 6 design principles for operational excellence in the cloud. So dia ada 6. Sini ada 5. Apa? There are 6 design principle. Apa yang tadi? Wah. In the cloud. So first is perform operation as a code. Define your entire workload, that is applications and infrastructure as a code and update it with code. And then implement operations procedures as a code and configure them to automatically trigger in response to events. By performing operation as a code, you limit human error and enable consistent response to event. So first sekali dia punya ni maksudnya untuk jadi dia basically kita buat apa saja arahan tu kita memang coding, kita dah buat coding lah. So buat contohnya bila jadi ni if jadi ni if else dan sebagainya. So semua benda yang kita nak buat tu kita buat dalam bentuk kod. So kalau kamu lepas ni kamu akan macam kena biasakan diri lah. Jadi biasa tulis dalam CLI dan sebagainya. So basically everything is kalau nak masuk dalam jadi expert memang kamu kena banyak biasakan diri coding. Coding. Okay. So semua operation tu kamu arahkan melalui by typing code. Dia ada kalau yang ni dia akan guna GUI lah, graphic user interface tu untuk tukar. Tapi sebagai performing operation sebagai expert, kesannya kita buat by coding lah, senang dan dia automatic dan reduce error. Reduce error. And then the second one, make frequent small reversible changes. So design workloads to enable components to be updated regularly, and then make changes. And then make changes in small increments that can be reversed if they fail, without affecting customers when possible. So kalau ada benda-benda yang kita ada event trigger dan sebagainya, kita akan buat frequent lah, small and reversible changes yang kita boleh buat. Kita tukar untuk make sure service tak down lah. And then refine operation procedures frequently. Look for opportunities to improve operation procedures. Evolve your procedures appropriately as your workloads evolve, and set up regular game days to review all procedures, validate their effectiveness, and ensure that teams are familiar with them. So refine, tengok balik procedures yang kita dah buat. So betul ke, bagus tak benda ni? Adakah dia ambil take time or ada benda yang kita boleh tambah dan sebagainya. So kita kita refine balik tiap hari atau tiap minggu ataupun setiap bulan. And then next is anticipate failure. Identify potential sources of failure so that they can be removed or mitigate, and test failure scenarios and validate your understanding of their impact. And then test your response procedures to ensure that they are effective and that teams know how to run them. And set up regular game days to test workloads and then test the response to similar events. So bila kita dalam operation, kita dah macam kita ada experience lah. Sebenarnya benda ni akan jadi pada waktu ni, apa akan jadi waktu ni. So from the experience kita dah anticipate mungkin boleh jadi, ataupun benda tu tak jadi lagi, kita melalui our experience, our knowledge, kita dah anticipate lah benda ni akan jadi kalau jadi macam ni. So kita dah ada prosedur apa yang nak buat bila failure ni jadi ni jadi macam mana. So kita kena target lah. And then last one, learn from all operational failures, drive improvement through lessons learned from all operational events and failures, and share what is learned across teams and through the entire organization. So basically apa yang kita dapat tu, kita buat macam muhasabah lah kan. Muhasabah kita buat, kita tengok apa yang kita boleh belajar daripada situ, apa yang kita boleh improve, and then from that kita share through relevant team. So the foundational question for operational excellence fall under 3 best practice areas. First, organization, prepare, operate, and evolve. So antara soalannya macam contohnya dalam organization, how you determine what your priorities are. So benda soalan-soalan ni bila kamu masuk dalam pekerjaan, dia akan start macam mana kamu nak determine, dia akan kamu kena jawab lah. So how do you structure your organization to support your business outcome? How your organization culture support your business outcome? Yang ni organization prepare, how you design your workload, how you reduce defects, is rehabilitation, how you mitigate deployment risk, operate, how you understand the health of your workload, how do you understand the health of your operation. So benda-benda kita kena jawab waktu kita deliver kita punya jobs pada klien. So evolve, how do you evolve operation? So penambahbaikan dan macam mana. Activity. And then the next pillar is security pillar. The second one, so the security pillar focus on the ability to protect information, systems, and assets while delivering business value through risk assessments and mitigation strategies. The key topics include protecting confidentiality and integrity of data, and then identifying and managing who can do what, or privilege management, or protecting system and establishing controls to detect security events. So focus, protect information, protect all this one. And then the key topic is protecting, identify, protecting system, and then establishing control. So there are 7 design principles that can improve security. Implement a strong identity foundation. Implement the principle of least privilege and enforce separation of duties and so on. So yang ni yang kita dah belajar selalu. Implement least privilege maksudnya apa yang dia nak buat bagi yang itu saja. Jangan bagi semua, bagi total lah. And then enable traceability, monitor, alert, and audit action changes to your environment in real time. So enable di sini penting juga sebab bila terjadi apa-apa, kita nak trace what happened, apa yang telah berlaku dan sebagainya. So perlunya traceability. Kan? accessibility ni penting supaya tak, maksudnya kita down problem tu tak berulang. And then apply security at all layers. Apply defense in depth and apply security control to all layers of your architecture. For example, dekat network, virtual private cloud, subnet and load balancer, OS and application. Apply semua yang boleh apply security. Hopefully dia tak kacau performance lah. Then automate security best practice. Automate security mechanism to improve your ability to securely scale more rapidly and cost effectively. Create secure architectures, implement controls that are defined, managed as a code in version control template. So benda yang kita boleh automate, kita automatekan. And then best practice buat dalam bentuk coding. So bila ada something happen, then that policy coding tu kita boleh apply without tak payah tunggu manual intervention. Manual intervention maksudnya orang kena masuk tengok dan sebagainya. And then protect data intrinsic and at rest. Intrinsic maksudnya data yang bergerak pada satu servis ke satu servis, satu tempat ke satu tempat, daripada orang curi dan sebagainya. And at rest maksudnya benda yang kita simpan kat satu tempat lah, dia tak bergerak. Okay. And then keep people away from data to reduce the risk of loss or modification of sensitive data due to human error. Create mechanism and tools to reduce or eliminate the need for direct access or manual processing of data. And then second, last one, prepare for security events. So have an incident management process that align with organization requirement. Run incident response simulation and use this automation to increase your speed of detection, investigation and recovery. So dalam IT pun ada macam kita kata macam bomba tu kan, dia buat drill, bomba drill dan sebagainya. So dalam IT memang ada best practice yang kena buat, syarikat besar lagi kena buat lah. So kalau kamu export lebih dana memang kamu kena buat. Dia macam panggil DR, disaster recovery. So dia akan buat simulation certain dia panggil period lah. Certain 2-3 bulan sekali dia akan buat simulation. So question yang dia prepare sebenarnya security, identity access management, data detection, infrastructure protection, data protection and incident response. So benda ni semua kita kena jawab. Okay. Jawab dengan betul lah. Macam kita nak buat. So ni activity. And then the next one is the pillar called reliability pillar. How reliable kita punya process or architecture or system. So the reliability pillar focus on ensuring a workload performs its intended function correctly and consistently with when is expected to. And a resilient workload quickly recovers from failures to meet business and customer demand. So key topic is designing distributed system, recovery planning, and handling change. So there are 5 design principles that can increase reliability. First, automatically recover from failure. Monitor systems for key performance indicators and configure your system to trigger an automated recovery when a threshold is breached. This practice enables automatic notification and failure tracking and for automated recovery process that work around or repair the failure. So yang ni penting sangat dalam IT. Kita perlukan something yang triggered. Kita dah set tadi standard and threshold. Contohnya lah CPU kita nak kata kalau atas pada 80%, dia akan hantar alert kepada admin, kepada administrator. Akan hantar alert kata dah sampai, CPU dah sampai 80%. So bila dah sampai 80%, apa yang dia perlu buat automatic buat. So kita dah design 80%, dia perlu tambah resource. So dia tambah resource, dia akan turun sampai 50% dan sebagainya. Tapi alert kita dah hantar dan kita boleh test. Kenapa? Dan dia dapat pula kita dapat pula apa? Feedback daripada IT. Kenapa dia reach sampai 80% and so on. Okay, and then test recovery procedures. Test how your system fails. And validate your recovery procedures and use automation to simulate different failures or to recreate errors and so on. So basically dia nak recreate benda yang fail ini. And then scale horizontally to increase aggregate workload availability. Replace one large resource with multiple small resources and distribute requests across these smaller resource to reduce the impact of single point of failure on the overall system. So instead of kita fokuskan pada satu tempat je, so kita aggregate dia pada tempat yang lain. So bila ada contohnya macam ada failure dekat data center tu, basically dia ada backup dekat data center yang lain, availability zone yang lain, ataupun kalau ada gempa bumi dan sebagainya, ada backup di tempat lain. So dia tak mengganggu service pun tak down. And then stop guessing capacity, monitor demand and system usage, and automate the addition or removal of resource to maintain the optimal level for satisfying demand. So yang ni pun kenapa cloud create is macam ni lah. Satu, kita tak perlu nak stop guessing. Kita ada monitoring in place untuk check the current usage and so on. So kita dah buat polisi lah. Contohnya kita buat polisi kalau 80% tadi macam tadi kat CPU 80% and then dia akan tambah resource. Kalau kurang pada 50%, dia akan reduce resource yang kita ada. So kita tak nak guessing-guessing ni. Kita nak monitor, ada monitoring and how to react to that data. And then manage change in automation. Use automation to make changes to infrastructure and manage changes in automation. Okay, yang ni macam tadi lah. Kita nak automate semua everything yang adalah. Okay, ada question dia from foundation, workload architecture, change management. Kalau ada something kita nak buat, so failure management. Ada yang sekarang ni yang famous dekat dalam IT management ni, dia ada banyak lah. So contoh dia ada change engineer, ada yang kerja fokus pada change. Kalau kamu nak buat change, kamu kena melalui dia. Failure management dipanggil, ataupun ada setengah company dipanggil problem management. Bila something happen, incident happen, so dia akan buat RCA, root cause analysis and so on. So banyak soalan-soalan yang standard lah. So yang tu juga satu bidang kerjaya yang boleh ada dalam IT. And then next pillar is dia panggil performance efficiency pillar. Dengan security dan reliability and so on, kita yang penting kita nak tengok performance must be better. So the performance efficiency pillar focus on the ability to use IT and computing resources efficiently to meet system requirements and to maintain that efficiency as a demand changes or technology evolve. And the key topic is selecting the right resource type, size based on workload requirement, monitor performance, and making informed decision to maintain efficiency as business needs evolve. So basically, there are 5 design principles in performance efficiency. First is democratize advanced technology, consume technology as a service. For example, technology such as NoSQL database, media transcoding, and machine learning require expertise that is not evenly dispersed across technical community. So in the cloud, this technology becomes service that teams can consume. Consume technologies enables team to focus on product development instead of resource provisioning and management. So guna servis yang bantulah. Kadang-kadang servis tu memang diperlukan expert. Tapi bila guna servis tu orang lain yang manage. Kita tak perlu manage. Kita hanya fokus pada apa business kita yang nak buat lah. So and then go global in minutes. Deploy system in multiple AWS regions to provide lower latency and better customer experience at minimal cost. So from the cloud kita boleh deploy lah kita punya service or application in minutes, in second. Ikut customer kita duduk mana. Kalau kat US kita deploy kat US, kalau kat Malaysia kita deploy dekat dengan Malaysia lah untuk dapat low latency. And then use serverless architectures. Serverless architectures remove the operational burden of running and maintaining servers to carry out traditional compute activities. And serverless architectures can also lower transactional costs because managed service operate at cloud scale. Serverless ni maksudnya dia macam ni jugalah, macam manage service. Tapi ada setengah company dia nak manage operating system, so dia tak boleh serverless. Tapi setengah company dia tak perlu pun untuk dia tahu ada expert dalam server and so on. So yang dia tahu ada punya application is running well. So dia boleh guna serverless architectures. Semua proses dalam tu Amazon yang manage. So experiment more often perform comparative testing of different types of instance, storage and configuration. So dia banyak service and resource dalam AWS, so kita boleh experience kan. Kita boleh test. Kadang-kadang sebab dia pay as you use. Maksudnya bila kita guna, kita rasa tak bagus, kita stop, kita guna resource yang ni, kita boleh test. Tapi sebelum guna tu kita dah design, kita dah fikir dah. Cuma kadang-kadang bila kita buat tengok tak macam yang kita expected. So you can experiment more often, you can stop and restart another resource. Kalau by physical kita tak boleh buat, kat data center kita tak boleh buat macam tu. Kita kena memang design betul-betul, kita kena beli, dah dapat, memang kena guna je. So untuk cloud kita boleh just buang macam tu je. And then for consider mechanical sympathy, use the technology approach that aligns best to what you are trying to achieve. For example, consider your data access pattern when you select approaches for database or storage. Okay. And then performance efficiency questions like selection, macam mana kita nak pilih, and then review, how you monitor your resource, and then trade-off. Contohnya macam tadi lah, macam kita boleh guna EC2 kita ni, kita boleh guna EC2 ataupun kita nak guna serverless service atau managed service. Serverless service mungkin senang tapi mungkin lebih cost tinggi, dan kita tak boleh control what happen dalam inside. Kalau kita guna EC2 service, kita boleh control what happen inside, configuration, setting semua kita boleh control. Cuma might be kalau expert tu tak ada ataupun silap dan sebagainya, mungkin problem lah. And the last one, and the important one, is cost optimization pillar. So the cost optimization pillar focus on the ability to avoid unnecessary costs. And then the key topic is understanding and controlling where money is being spent, and then selecting the most appropriate and right number of resource types, and then analyze spend over time, and also scaling to meet business needs without overspending. Yang ni yang penting lah. So kita tahu, kita kena understand, select yang terbaik, analyze betul ke kita spend dengan betul, and then kita tengoklah business needs perlu macam mana tanpa kita spend over threshold budget yang kita yang dia beri pada kita lah. So there are five design principles that can optimize costs, implement cloud financial management to achieve financial success and accelerate business value realization in the cloud. You need to invest in cloud financial management and cost optimization. So you need to build capability through knowledge building programs, resource, process to become a cost-efficient organization. And then adopt a consumption model. Pay only for the competing resource that you require. Increase or decrease usage depending on business requirement. And then measure overall efficiency, measure the business output to the workload and the cost that associated with delivering it. And then start spending money on undifferentiated heavy lifting. So AWS does the heavy lifting of racking, stacking, and powering servers, which means that you can focus on your customers and IT and business project instead of the IT infrastructure. Analyze and attribute expenditure. The cloud makes it easier to accurately identify system usage and costs and attribute IT costs to individual workload owners. And then having this capability helps you to measure return on investment ROI and gives workload owners an opportunity to optimize their resource and reduce cost. Semua ni kita kena faham untuk bantu kita punya boss, manager ataupun kita punya business untuk reduce cost but deliver the expected outcome. So the cost optimization question is, for example, practice and the expenditure and usage awareness, cost effective, and manage demand and supply resources, and lastly, optimize over time. So the AWS well-architected framework provides a consistent approach to evaluate cloud architectures and guidance to help implement design. The AWS well-architected framework documents set of foundational questions and also have a 5 pillars, a design principle and best practice. Yang ni yang penting lah. Dia dah provide set cara fikir, cara tool yang ni. So bila kamu masuk kerja pun, the good employer dia akan bagi satu macam guidance and then juga tools. Itu penting sebagai untuk kita perform dalam pekerjaan. Kalau company tu tak bagus, dia tak bagi benda-benda tu. Kamu buatlah apa yang ni kan. Tapi syarikat besar-besar yang bagus, dia akan provide, okay, this guide, kita nak achieve apa, and this is the tool that help you to do your job. So your job is to familiar with the tools, familiar with what we want to achieve, and so on. And the section 2 is reliability and availability. So in words of Winnie Burgers, Amazon Chief Technology Officer, he said from his experience, everything fails and all the time. So one of the best practice that is identified in the AWS architecture framework is to plan for failures. So one way to do that is to architect your application and workloads to withstand failure. There are two important factors that cloud architect considers when designing architectures to withstand failure: reliability and availability. So reliability is a measure of your system ability to provide functionality when desired by the user. And because everything fails all the time, you should think of reliability in statistical terms. So reliability is the probability that an entire system will function as intended for a specific period. So note that system includes all system components such as hardware, firmware, software, and so on. So reliability is a measure of your system ability to provide functionality when desired by the user. Systems include all system components, hardware, firmware, and software. Probability that your entire system will function as intended for a specific time period, and mean time between failures, MTBF, total times in service, divided by numbers of failures. So say that you have an application that you bring online Monday at noon, the application is said to be available. So it function normally until it find it function normally until it fails Friday at noon. Therefore, the time to failure or the length of the application is 96 hours. So you spend from Friday at noon until Monday at noon to diagnose why the application failed and repairing it. At which point you bring the application back online. Therefore, the time to repair is 72 hours. So MTTF is 96 hours. Your mean time to repair is 72 hours. Your mean time between failures is 168 hours or 1 week, which is the sum of MTTF and MTTR. So as you just learned, failure of system components impacts the ability of the system. Formally, availability is the percentage of time that is operating normally or correct performance the portion expected. And availability is reduced anytime the application isn't operating normally, including both scheduled and unscheduled action. So availability ni ialah kalau kamu dah jadi manager nanti, ataupun kamu handle dengan customer, sebenarnya availability ni yang kita offer. Contohnya contohnya normal operation over total time. Macam service macam DG ke Maxis ke apa semua tu, yang vendor yang kat belakang tu semua offer, yang buat maintenance dan semua ada offer macam ni lah. Macam dalam setahun dia boleh down berapa jam saja dan so on. So kalau the contract is like that, so dia macam ada percentage of uptime, for example 99.9% of the time, for example a year. Number of nines, 5 9 means 99.999% ability. Maksudnya yang ni dia make sure tak down langsung kan. Kalau down dia akan bayar penalty. Selalunya macam itulah. Dia make sure tak ada down langsung. Kalau ada down dia akan kena bayar penalty. And then high available system is one that can withstand some measure of degradation while still remaining available. In a highly available system, downtime is minimized as much as possible and minimal human intervention is required. Satu ada benda, downtime is minimal and minimal human intervention is required. So basically dia cuba buat automate lah. Kadang the system is still run tapi dia degrade sikit, dia degraded macam dulu kadang benda tu laju, biasanya laju tapi ada hari tu bila dia nak down tu dia macam boleh access tapi dia slow. Dia tak down terus kan. Kalau ada down pun dia akan minimize and dia akan ada automatic monitoring and intervention lah daripada sistem tu sendiri, bukannya dia tak tunggu human intervention. So availability tiers 99% means 3 days 15 hours in a year, 99.8 hours and so on. So 99 5 minutes. So kategori dia contohnya macam ATM transaction, dia perlukan di service. So kita maksudnya customer yang telekom nak ATM transaction, sebenarnya dia akan minta kontraktor bagi this level of agreement lah. Lebih pada 5 minit setahun memang kena ni lah, warning dan penalty. So factors that influence availability, first is fault tolerance. So fault tolerance is macam mana dia bina infrastructure tu lah. Built-in redundancy, contohnya network dia bina ada 2 dan ke atas. So, kalau satu down, satu lagi masih lagi operate, so dia boleh switch to another redundancy option. Recoverability, process, policies, procedures. So yang ni yang tadi yang best practice tu. Kalau problem, apa yang nak buat, apa yang berlaku, macam mana automation yang bantu untuk recover benda tu. So yang ni memainkan peranan lah. Okay. So you as an engineer or architect, so you have to be expert in this area. And the scalability, the ability of application to accommodate increase in capacity needs without changing design need. Okay. Scale, maksudnya boleh scale automatic, bukannya kena tunggu manual intervention by human or subject matter expert nak kena tambah resource and so on. So dia tambah sendiri to make sure tak ada downtime. So section 2, reliability, availability penting, fault tolerance, scalability, recoverability. Make sure your workloads to be highly available. So yang ni keywords yang penting lah. And then section 3, AWS Trusted Advisor. As you have learned so far, you can use AWS well-architected framework as you design your architectures to understand potential risks in your architectures, identify areas that need improvement, and drive architectural decision. So in this section, you will learn about AWS Trusted Advisor, which is a tool that you can use to review your AWS environment as soon as you start implementing your architectures. So AWS Trusted Advisors is an online tool, a service that provide real-time guidance to help you provision your resources following AWS best practice. So AWS Trusted Advisors look at your entire AWS environment and give you a recommendation in 5 categories. First, yang penting sekali, cost optimization. Cost optimization, dia check tengok dia macam antivirus lah, dia check apa yang ni kan. So dia bagi recommendation lah. Contohnya dia dah beritahu okay, potential monthly saving kalau ikut arahan dia, ikut recommendation dia. AWS Trusted Advisor looks at your resource use and makes recommendation to help you optimize cost by eliminating unused and idle resource. Memang terbaik lah Mazal, memang dia buat kadang benda tu kita expert pun ataupun ni kadang kita tak faham kan. So dia dah buat tool yang bantu kerja, membantu customer dia. Tu yang powernya, maksudnya tu Amazon ni dia kamu pun kalau kamu kerja pun kalau ataupun sebagai manager untuk keep the team performance high, dan memang kamu kena tugas kamu untuk sediakan tools ni. And then performance, improve the performance of your service by checking your service limits. Ensure you take advantages of provision throughput, monitoring for hospitalized instance. And then security, improve the security of your application by closing gaps, enabling various AWS security features, and examining your permissions. And then fault tolerance, increase the ability and redundancy of your AWS application by taking advantage of automatic scaling, health checks, multi-AZ deployments, and backup capabilities. And then service limits. AWS Trusted Advisor checks for service ranges that is more than 80% of the service limit values are based on snapshots. So your current usage might be differ, limit and usage data can take up to 24 hours to reflect any changes. So yang ni cost optimization, performance, security dia pakai bagi recommendation, fault tolerance and also service limit. So you have a yang ni activity, facility. So section 3, best AWS Trusted Advisor is online tool that you can use to use yang tadi kita belajar prinsip dan sebagainya. Itulah kadang kita dah baca dan sebagainya, kadang-kadang kita terlepas tengok. So dia ada tools yang bantu. So bila dia bagi recommendation tu kita dah faham konsep atau prinsip sebab tu lagi cepat lah instead of kita just follow je arahan dia tu. So bila kita dah faham konsep dia ni, so bila dia bagi recommendation tu kita lebih faham lah kenapa dia bagi recommendation tu. Okay. So in this summary, kita dah belajar pasal AWS Architecture Framework, ada 5 pillars. Identify the design principles, explain the importance of reliability and reliability, and identify how AWS Trusted Advisor help customers and interpret ni kita tak buat activity, so tak ada, tapi kita tahulah apa benda yang dia nak recommend based on all these 5 pillars. So please do the quiz on dekat setiap modul tu. So I think that's all for today for this module. So hopefully we can continue another last one for Amazon AWS tomorrow. Okay, ada soalan tak? Or anything? Not, let's end right now. So have a good rest. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.